Okay, on the docket tonight, another big case that we are tracking that is just around the corner. The killer clown trial down in Florida. Ted Rowlands has the story for us tonight.
It started out as a typical day for the Warren family living on this quiet street in Wellington, Florida, an equestrian community just north of Miami.
That morning, I do remember we were eating breakfast. Nice, calm Saturday, I believe it was.
Joe Ahrens was 21 years old at the time. He will remember that Saturday for the rest of his life. It was May 26, 1990. A clown carrying balloons and flowers came to the Ahrens' door. Joe's mom, Marlene Warren, reached for the flowers and was fatally shot twice in the face.
It was one of the worst days of my life.
Ahrens heard the gunfire and ran to find his mother in a pool of blood. He saw the clown walk away and disappear into a white car, but had no clue who the killer was, and neither did police. The case would go cold for decades. Then, finally, after 27 years, a break. Advanced DNA testing led authorities to Sheila Keen Warren.
Testing has evolved over time, and there were apparently some pieces of evidence that they wanted to re-examine, and they sent it to an FBI lab. And it's unclear which part of that led to the arrest, but something stuck. And that's how they were able to make the arrest.
Keen Warren was living in Virginia. She was arrested and charged with first-degree murder for the shooting death of Joe Ahrens' mother, Marlene Warren.
I could not grieve because there was no closure in the case.
Authorities suspected Sheila was having an affair with Marlene's husband, Michael Warren. Michael and Sheila eventually married in 2002. She was living with him at the time of her arrest. The trail that led investigators to Sheila Keen Warren contained many twists. One of them, a deathbed confession from John Moran, a family friend. John Moran passed away, but before he died, he shared a secret with his son, John Moran Jr.
My father told me everything that happened before he died. I knew where the car was. I knew who planned it. I knew where the gun was at.
John Moran Sr. worked with Michael Warren, who was married to the victim. Warren was questioned by police but never charged in his wife's murder. He was a used car dealer who was later arrested on charges of grand theft, odometer, tampering, and racketeering. Warren's friend, John Moran, told his son before he died that Warren may have had something to do with his wife's death.
On his deathbed, he told me that car would get me anything I ever wanted from Michael Warren.
Moran Jr. told detectives that Michael Warren tried to bribe him. Investigators followed up on details Moran Jr. gave them, including information about what could have been the killer clown's getaway car. John Moran Jr. said his dad told him where some of the evidence was kept. Police went diving in a Palm Beach canal where Moran Jr. says he and his father helped dump the evidence. However, investigators did not find the clown costume or murder weapon. Without that evidence, police can't make a case for murder against Sheila Keen Warren, according to their lawyer.
I do know enough about this case, not from the discovery process, but from my knowledge of the case, that she's innocent.
All right, let's bring back in our guests. You know, I look at this trial, and Bremner, and the first thing that strikes me is in the beginning, the son who was there described the clown as being kind of tall, and for years they thought it was a man. That, you know, we can look back and say, oh, back then he thought it was a man, but it turned out to be a woman. No, that becomes a big issue at trial. That becomes a huge issue at trial.
Yeah, it's the issue at trial, and this lawyer, the lawyer for the defendant is not off base, really, in what he made a comment about the strength of the case and innocence of the client. I mean, the fact is, it's an old case. And eyewitness testimony in an old case where basically they've got it wrong in terms of the description, that's going to be a tough burden for the prosecutor to get beyond. I think it's just a very, very difficult case. I remember reading about this case over the years and thinking, I mean, how are they going to prove this? Especially given the initial description from the son. And he would have every incentive to be accurate and to get the right person prosecuted.
Michael Sterling, I believe prosecutors will attempt to tie Sheila Keen Warren to some balloons that were purchased that day, as well as a clown costume. Now, I don't have a clown costume at home. I don't know if you keep one in the closet, Michael. I'm not sure. But it's kind of unusual. It's not a thing that everyone has. So if they can connect the defendant to a clown costume, even though they don't have it, but someone testifying about it, and some balloons, that moves the ball a little bit. I don't know beyond a reasonable doubt, but it gets you a little bit closer.
Yeah, Vinny, and that is what we call circumstantial evidence, which is as good as direct evidence, as the jury will be instructed. And so circumstantial evidence is evidence that, there's not an eyewitness who says, I saw the person shoot the person, but there is circumstances that demonstrate the person, likely committed the crime, or there's some circumstances that lead jurors to believe, and circumstantial evidence is, as the jury will be instructed, is just as good as direct evidence. I like to say, Vinny, if I didn't see you eat the cookie, if I didn't see one of my kids eat the cookie, but I see the chocolate chips on the floor leading to one of my son's bedrooms, and I see the chocolate on his mouth, then there's some circumstantial evidence he was in the cookie jar, and it wasn't the other son.
Even if he shook your hand and said, Dad, I didn't do it?
That was good.
And the other part of this, Ann, and this is a big part of the story when it comes to motive, is she ends up marrying. Now, not immediately. It's years later they get married, but there is an alleged romantic connection that may have preceded the murder of Marlene Warren.
Well, that's a big one for me. I mean, if I was on the jury, and I think it's a big one for a lot of potential jurors. I mean, she ends up marrying him. Like my grandma used to say, what a coinky dink, I mean, you can't really make that up. So there's your motive right there. And that, jurors take a leap of faith in murder cases, I think. When I was a prosecutor, I saw that all the time. You might not have the strongest case in the world, but they'll still kind of take a leap of faith, if they really think, I really think the person did it, and it's a serious, serious crime, it's homicide.
Now, the one piece of evidence that's been alluded to, but we don't know exactly what it is and what level of evidence it is, but there's supposed to be some enhanced DNA that may have been the final piece that led to the charges here. Michael Sterling, if the jurors believe in that DNA, to me, in 2022, jurors will latch on to that. But I think it's going to be challenged by the defense in whether or not it's reliable or not, and how they got it all these years later. But that could be another crucial part of this case.
Yeah, Benny, we've seen the opposite happen, right? In many cases, we've seen where 25 years later, DNA evidence exonerates someone, right? So we've seen cases come out where DNA evidence makes it very clear that this person wasn't the individual who committed the crime. So what we're having here is the opposite, where the DNA evidence, as you point out, Benny, if the jurors believe it, despite potential challenges from the defense, it could demonstrate that this is actually the person who committed the crime. And so the advanced scientific technology and the advances in DNA could potentially be what does Sheila Keen Warren in. All
right, folks, take a look at the trial date. It's a lot closer than you think. June 3rd. We're in the midst of covering Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. Closing arguments in that case have already been scheduled because each side's been allotted a certain number of hours, minutes, and seconds to present their cases. Closing arguments are the Friday before Memorial Day weekend at the end of May. June 3rd, Florida versus Sheila Keen Warren, the killer clown trial.